I've made well over $1 million using this process, and I'm gonna break it down for you step by step.
Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brad Hannon. You know the drill. We created this channel for agents like yourself to polish their skills, make more sales, and ultimately
show me the money.
Make more money selling health insurance.
Congratulations, you're still my agent.
Listen, today I want to talk to you about a subject that I'm very passionate about. It is the presentation. And obviously that's where the money's made, right? We've got to be good at setting appointments. We've got to be good at generating interest on initial calls and things like that. But we've got to nail the presentation, right? You've worked hard to set the appointment. You've even probably bought the lead. Now we're getting in the presentation. You got to have a flow, right? So that you nail it, so that you maximize your income, maximize your opportunity, and more than anything else, right? You help put that person in a better spot. And that goes without saying, right? You should be putting that client in a better spot. And as always, if this channel, if this helps you, if this video helps you, if any of our other videos have ever helped you, please throw a subscribe, throw a comment, like, you know the drill, whatever the heck the deal is to make the algorithm work and get us to 1,000 subscribers, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And I don't think this thing's ever going to end. So we're having a good time. The first part I want to break down for you guys. Okay. And, oh, by the way, I did a full playlist on this. So the playlist is in the description. The specific video is linked like somewhere over here. You know, we'll put that in the description as well. But the full process, the full sales pitch that I do, you can call it, right? It's my presentation from start to finish. I've done recordings of. Now I want to break it down kind of step by step. So just the individual steps. And if you've paid attention, you know the first is day-to-day. So when presenting health insurance, I'm going to intro, you know, hey, Eric, this is Brad, the health insurance agent. You know, I sent you those quotes, wanted to go through them with you. Is now still a good time? Whatever you want to do, right? Eric says yes. Okay, great. Eric, listen, I want you to know something. When you're talking about health insurance, right, to me, to another agent, to anybody, we're talking about your plan, my plan, those plans. It doesn't matter. There's mainly 3 things you want to know. Right now, you're establishing the fact that you are an expert, right? Listen, when you're talking about, and you're also making it easy for them to understand, giving them a lot of confidence, right? Building rapport. So no matter what plan you're talking about, whether it's the plan you're on, whether it's the plan we're talking about today, you know, whatever the case is, there's 3 main things that you want coverage for, right? The first is day to day. That's things like doctor's visits, prescriptions, x-rays, labs, you know, stuff that obviously I hope you're not going every day for, but you're probably going to go to the doctor once, twice, 3 times a year. Who knows? You know, those are what I consider day to day, just the things that you use once or twice a year. Again, doctor's office visits, lab work, you know, wellness, whatever, all of that falls in the day to day. The second thing is accidents, right? Accidents happen. You're a healthy person. You mentioned you like to ride mountain bikes and do this, do that. Accidents happen. So we're going to cover that second. And the last thing is the catastrophic events, right? This is the major medical situations, obviously not related to accidents, but like, you know, someone was diagnosed with cancer, has a heart attack, stroke, major surgery, outpatient, inpatient, doesn't matter. The big stuff is the third thing and the most important thing we're going to cover. So we're going to touch on that last. Does that make sense, Eric? Great. That's selling the chain. Okay. So you're letting them know the entire process up front. Like, I'm going to cover these 3 things. So in other words, sit back, shut up. I'm going to answer all your questions before you even ask them. That's how you handle objections before the objections always ever come, right? Good salespeople talk about, well, I don't handle objections, or I don't rebuttal objections, right? I handle them throughout the sales process. That's what this sales process is designed to do. So today we're going to break down the day to day. Okay. Category 1, day to day. You can name it something else. You can change it. But what I would suggest is that you stick to a process, right? Stick to a flow that does not change, because my goodness, like even I do it still to this day when I try to shortcut, when I try to go, you know, do it on the fly, whatever the case is. If I don't go through the process, I close less sales. Like it's a lower percentage. Maybe sometimes I close it, sometimes I don't, but either way, it's a lower percentage when I don't have a process. So first thing is day to day. Okay. So first let me talk about the talking points. Okay. Doesn't matter whether you're selling ACA, Obamacare, either one, right? ACA, private, short-term medical indemnity. Doesn't matter what type of option you're selling. When you're talking about the day-to-day, there's a few things that are important, right? Network, if there is one, what the network is, copays, if there is any, or benefits, if it's fixed benefit, what those benefits for doctor's visits are, discounts or prescription benefits, urgent care, telemedicine. These are the things you should be covering. And I'll just build a little checklist for myself. Like I'll just take, before I present the plan, I'll take day to day and I'll put like an outline of the highlights that I'm going to touch on. Okay. The main things I'm going to touch on. And the most important part, okay, don't miss this, because I realized the other day when I was actually selling, I undervalue this. This is such a rapport building exercise. When you finish the day to day, okay, you could practically close the sale at the end of day to day. If you're doing a good job, you can practically close the sale. This is where I spend the most time, because this is what's most important to your clients. And so I'll get through, hey, the network is this, you've got these co-pays, it pays this benefit for this. I'm going to give them kind of the high level overview, the basics. If you have examples, EOBs that you can use on a screen share or whatever you need, that's a great thing to do. But the last thing I'm going to finish with in the day-to-day is, okay, so speaking of the day-to-day, this plan I told you runs on this network. I want to take a second to see if your doctors are in fact in network. Most times they are. Do you have a doctor that you love to see? Boom, I'm going to pull up the network. I'm going to start searching. Okay, this is like a 5-10 minute exercise. My presentations can be 20 to 25 minutes, really at the most, before I start going nuts anyways. So this can take up a good half of the presentation in the day-to-day, and then spending another 5-10 minutes looking, or spending 5 of that 10 minutes looking up doctors. So, okay, Dr. Smith, he's in this zip code. Perfect. Let me check it out. Okay. Yep. I'm seeing he's on 1-800-I-DRIVE, whatever the case is. Yeah, that's him. Okay, great. Dr. Smith. Perfect. He's in network. Do you have another doctor, maybe an OBGYN or whatever specialist you see? Yes, I do. The other thing this is going to do is, man, if they're listing off like 3, 4, 5 doctors and you're selling a plan that may be underwritten or, maybe geared towards healthy individuals, obviously the fact that they have 5 doctors is a little bit of a red flag. So I will pause. Hey, that's a lot of doctors, and it's good that you got a great team of people keeping you healthy. But do you have any? Is there any major hospitalizations, surgeries, things like I'm missing? Because this plan is designed for healthy individuals. Okay, and that's a good time to bring it up. But the most important thing is spending that time looking up their doctors if they have doctors they love. Right? If you're selling ACA, I would always preface this with, hey, this is kind of the least important thing for me when I'm selling ACA, because I'm focused on benefits first, doctors second. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way that the ACA networks tend to be in certain states. So if you're selling ACA, it's good to have a little disclosure on the front end, like, hey, we've got this opportunity to look up doctors on this plan, but if it doesn't work, we have supplemental plans. This is where MEC plans come in handy, or even going with a private option that's not with a limited network in the ACA. But spend that time looking up the doctors, and then your transition is simple. So, okay, so that covers the day-to-day. We found out your doctor's in network, Dr. Smith, George, John, whatever, in network. So that's great. The second thing I want to talk about is accidents. Eric, you had mentioned you like to, work out, you go mountain biking, you go running, you're doing 1,000 push-ups a day, whatever the case is, you're healthy. So I want to talk about the most likely scenario outside of the day-to-day, of course, the most likely scenario for a claim, which would be the accidents. And then I want to talk about the potentially most devastating scenario. So there's 2 main points here. I want to talk about the most likely and the most devastating. We're going to talk about that second section of accidents. We're going to talk about that in the next video, so stay tuned.
I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler. One thing you should know about me, I'm a health insurance hustler. BradHannon.com.